isn't live, but I'm not getting a good signal here. Okay. Hey everyone, I'm just checking to see if we have a good connection, so if you can hang on for just a moment. All right, I think I'm here. Hey, so if you're here in the chat, go ahead and introduce yourself and say hi. My name is Mr. Nick. I might be your regular classroom teacher, or maybe you've never seen me before. So this is for intermediate advanced saxophone players. You're playing in either the purple book or the green book, and then I'll have music for you up on screen shortly. Down in the description of the video, you'll also have a link. You can pull up the materials digitally and watch that way too. Okay, and today I have been having some connectivity issues, so if the video goes out for a split second, go ahead and just hang on, and I'll get it fixed and back up here shortly. So we haven't had to cancel the videos yet, so just pay attention and you should be good to go. If you're watching the video after it's been recorded, you can ask comments make comments and ask questions down below. The chat feature is only for live. So go ahead and introduce yourself. Otherwise, we'll get started here shortly. Let's play the G major scale from memory. Last week we had it pulled up on screen, and most of my students are already working on memorizing the scale. So if you have it memorized, that's great. Otherwise, you can open up your books and play it, but I'm not going to put it on screen right now. This is the G major scale. Okay, so only sharp is F sharp. And we'll play each note for 4 counts. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. Backwards. Ready, set, go. Good. That's an excellent warm-up. It's always good to practice your scales and keep them memorized. That way, if you ever see something in music that kind of resembles a scale, it's much easier because you've already have it memorized. Cool. Another thing we do with the scales, if you go ahead and open your green books, here's page 1. You see the scale written out there. Another thing we do with the scale is we play these studies. Like last week we talked about the étude, which is the French word for study. Okay, here's a study on, what page is this? Sorry, page 3, the G major scale study. And the way it works is we go up the scale 4 notes. So G, A, B, C, and then we go down to the next note, which is the second note of the scale, A, and we do the same pattern. A, B, C, D, and then to B, B, C, D, E, and so on and so forth until we get as high as we possibly can on our instrument in line 2, and then it changes just a little bit because we run out of notes to play. So the scale study is a really good thing to practice and try to do it slowly and speed it up until it becomes really comfortable, and you can almost do it blindfolded. Let's try the G major scale study as written. Okay, so you'll need to know all the notes in the G major scale. Ready? 1, 2, ready, go. said with this one, it's really good to practice it slowly. You can play that with me a couple times with the recording later on, and then work on just speeding it up until you can do it pretty comfortably blindfolded. Okay, so something like that, get it really, really fast and then comfortable. Every time you see it in music, it won't be an issue, right? It'll be already practiced. Good. Another thing we do with the major scale is we play the arpeggios. Arpeggio, if you remember from last week, it's just the first note of the scale, the third note of the scale, and the fifth note of the scale. You'll see 4 different notes, but the top note and the bottom note are both G, right? So they're both the same note. We just do the 1, the 3, the 5 all together. And if I played that on the piano over here at the same time, that would be a chord. And because we're a saxophone, we can't play 3 notes at the same time. We have to play them separated, and so we call it arpeggio. Let's try the arpeggio. Ready? 1, 2, 3, and go. Good. That's a really important thing to do in addition to the scales. If you don't have arpeggios in the book on the scale that you're learning, you can just look at the first note, the third note, and the fifth note, and you can learn any arpeggio from any scale. Okay? And it's really good to have that one memorized as well so that you can do it pretty fast. It's a good thing to have under your fingers, just like that. All right, moving right along here, I wanted to talk about 3/4 time, because we don't see a lot of songs in 3/4 time. So we have this Barker roll at the bottom in 3/4. Just want to make sure it's centered so you guys can see it here. Okay, the Barker roll in 3/4 time. You can definitely tell. Can I do this? Yeah, there we go. That's a little bit better. You can definitely tell that there's groupings of 3s. Not only is the measure 3 beats long, but we have a nice tie over each of the measures that makes the notes last for 3 beats long. It's kind of tricky because we're used to counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But for songs in 3, we leave the 4 out and we just count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, kind of like a waltz or another dance that's in 3. Okay, the Barker roll is supposed to be nice and slow, and we have these dynamic markings underneath: the forte, the piano, the decrescendo, which means start loud and get softer. So not only are we practicing 3 beats per measure in this one, but we're also trying to be expressive and doing the first and second endings again. So let's try this one. It's not terribly difficult, but do your best to be expressive, okay? Try to play loudly when it says forte and play softly when it says piano. All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, set, play. Rest, repeat. Good. The decrescendo is supposed to be kind of fading out from a loud dynamic to a really soft dynamic. Okay, I see a couple more people have entered, so if you're using the chat, go ahead and introduce yourself and let me know if you have specific questions about saxophone. I can answer them for you. Otherwise, we're going to move right along to Aura Lee on page 40. Some of us are already playing the song in school, which is great. This is a duet of Aura Lee, so we have to extend our range a little bit and go higher on our instruments up to high B, I believe B and C in the last line too. So we're going to get a little extended range lesson out of this as well, as we're playing the melody and harmony parts separately. So we'll go through each one, and the benefit to having the video recorded right now is you can go ahead and watch this video later on and practice the melody part with me, or practice the harmony part with the melody part, or practice the melody part with the harmony part, or the harmony part with me. So I'm going to do both of them, and you get to kind of mix and match however you want. Okay, cool. So it'll kind of be like we're doing a duet together. Aura Lee. Make sure you first check out the key signature. We have F sharp in the key signature, so don't play F natural. It's the same key that we started the video with, key of G. All right. We're going pretty high up on the saxophone on the notes here. We go up in line 3. We're already playing a high B, which is the same as low B. Just put on your octave key and make sure that you're not biting too hard on the reed. Okay, nice and open and blow full air. Line 4, we go from B up to high C, same as low C or middle C, sorry, with the octave key. So it's getting pretty high up there. Okay. Otherwise, orally, if you're already working on it, you should be familiar with the notes. And the rest of us, we're just playing notes in the key of G, like we started the video with. Okay. So let's try the melody part here. We'll just go line by line. And if you have questions, again, use the chat, let me know, and I can answer them for you. Cool. Here's the beginning. 1, 2, ready, play. And that last note in line 1 and line 2, dotted half notes. We have a half note, which is 2 beats long. We add half of it to the half note. So 2 plus 1, we get 3 beats that note has to be held for. And then the 4th beat is that quarter rest. Good. Line 2 is pretty much the exact same thing. So let's play line 2, and then we'll get ready to play line 3. Here we go. 1, 2, line 2, and go. Good. This next part is what we would call the B section of the music. So the A section sounds different than the B section. The A section was that melody, da-dee-da-da-da-da-da. The B section sounds a little bit different. We're going all the way up to high B. B, 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 A, G, A, B. Some of my students think it sounds like Jingle Bells. So it kind of does, but it's not quite Jingle Bells. Line 4. B, B, C, B, A, E, A, and then the melody kind of works its way back in. Bum, 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 bum at the end. All right, let's do lines 3 and 4. Pay attention to those dynamics. We have piano, then mezzo piano, so soft, then a little bit louder. Mezzo forte, medium loud, forte loud, okay? And then the last whole line is mezzo forte. Okay, lines 3 and 4. 1, 2, ready, go. Good. So this part it may actually sound a little bit different than the music you're working on in school, the orally. That's why we have the harmony part. There's kind of a trade-off between the two parts. They sound completely different than the piece that you're used to when you play them parts alone, but when you combine them together, it'll sound much nicer. So let's now do the harmony part, where our range is much more confined to the scale that we've been playing, the G major scale. The highest note really is that high G, and that's about it. So this one should be a breeze. Let's try the harmony part, the whole thing. Ready? 1, 2, ready, half note, go. Rest. So that harmony part doesn't really sound like it belongs by itself, right? Because the melody is the most important. The harmony, it relies on the melody. So you've got to have someone playing the melody part while you play the harmony part. Otherwise, it's going to sound weird. So what you can do is go ahead and rewind the video as many times as you want and practice. When I play the melody all at once, you can practice with me, or play the harmony with me, or alternate. Do the melody with the harmony and do the harmony with the melody. And we'll be playing a duet together, kind of virtually. Okay? All right, so if anyone has questions, I'm not seeing anyone using the chat, so I don't know who's watching, but maybe you're watching after it's been recorded. Go ahead and leave me comments below. If you want to attempt to do a virtual duet with me, with a recording, or with yourself, just go ahead and record yourself doing both parts. Email it to us, homework@theorchestraplace.com, and maybe we can feature you in a coming video. Hope to see your guys' videos and provide some feedback. And for now, I'll see you next time.